2009, a group of school friends set up a football club in the North Wales village of Flint Mountain. Despite the football club sharing a name with the village of Flint Mountain, the football club has never played in the village that it shares its name with. The club has instead lived a nomadic lifestyle, moving from ground to ground. Really, the story is quite incredible given where the football club started not too many years ago, in 2009, as I said, to where the club currently sits. It's quite funny, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page for the village of Flint Mountain, and it says one of the local points of interest is Flint Mountain Football Club. It's quite ironic given the club has never played in the village. In its early days, the football club played in a number of locations in and around the town of Flint, down the hill from Flint Mountain, until it decided on a more permanent home in the village of Northup Hall, and to be more precise, Northup Hall Pavilion. So it was actually here in 2019 that the football club had one of its most successful periods when it won the North East Wales Premier Division to gain promotion to the Wrexham Area National League, which was, I think, Tier 4 at the time. We'll have a little tour around the pitch. It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Honestly, apologies about the weather today. The wind is unbelievable, but blue skies for a change. We are in December, I suppose, so can't complain too much. It's not a bad little playing service, to be fair. It's pretty well 100% flat. It is a bit wet, but we are in North Wales and it is the dead of winter. They actually won a treble, I believe, that season, also winning the Horace Wynne Cup and a number of other cups, obviously, along with the league title. However, winning the league title meant licensing requirements were needed to be met. And Northup Hall Pavilion clearly didn't meet them. As we make our way to the next ground in Flint Mountain Football Club's history, I thought we'd just stop and take a moment to appreciate this view. You see, over there you can see the Wirral, and then further over you can see Liverpool City Centre. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out on the camera. And then back down the hill there is Flint. Flint Mountain will just be probably about there, and then just beyond is Connors Quay and be out over to Cheshire that way. But yeah, so lucky to live in a beautiful part of the world. And what is going on with my hair? I think I need a hat today. Unbelievable. Let's have a quick recap. Flint Mountain Football Club set up in 2009. They find a permanent home at Northup Hall Pavilion, which is where they won the North East Wales Premier Division, which got them promotion to the Wrexham Area National League, which was, I think, Tier 4 possibly of the Welsh system. That meant there was licensing criteria to meet, which resulted in a move to a new ground, and that new ground is here at Halkin Cricket Club. The move happened ahead of the 2019-2020 season, and it would also result in a name change due to obviously moving to Halkin and the former home actually of Halkin United. So the club became known as Halkin and Flint Mountain Football Club. And there it is. The former home of Flint Mountain Football Club, or should I say Halkin and Flint Mountain Football Club. Although the ground is at Halkin Cricket Club, it's also known as Pant Newydd, I believe. Look at that. Halkin United actually reached the Cymru Alliance in the early 2000s, which was Tier 2 of the Welsh system, so what would be now known as the Cymru North. And they actually stayed at that level for about 6 or 7 seasons before they were relegated back down through the divisions. So Halkin and Flint Mountain Football Club would actually play here at Pantnewydd for 3 seasons, competing in the Wrexham Area National League, and then after the reorg of Welsh football in I think around 2020, the North East Football League set up, which I think back then was the North East Wales Championship and Premier Division. I think there's junior football played here, but I don't think there's any men's football, which is a shame because it's a lovely ground, to be fair. You've got a little sheltered terrace type thing here, and then you've got a little stand here. I mean, it's pretty dated, but it's lovely, isn't it? Look at that. A wooden post there holding it up. Quality. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get down there, like. Wow, what a shame. Such a good little ground as well. I wonder if Flint Mountain would ever consider moving back here. You could develop it quite easily, I would have thought. Taken out by brambles here. Might have to get onto the pitch, walk over that way. Look at that though. Back at the grandstand. Look at the grandstand. Look at the bank as well. You could proper develop that, turn it into a bit of a terrace, couldn't you? And obviously, yeah, they've reduced the size of the pitch for the junior football there. You can see. It is good to see that there's still football played here, but yeah, it's a shame there's no senior football played here. And there's that view again, back over to England. Connors Quay down there, you can see the factories, and Deeside, and then over to Chester and Cheshire in the distance there. What a location for a ground, like, honestly, probably got to be up there in terms of locations for grounds in North Wales. We are spoilt for choice in terms of beautiful settings of grounds, but he's up there. Come on, you got to agree with me. Bit easier to walk down this little section, not as overgrown as the other side over there. So after 3 years playing here at Pantnewydd, the club was on the move again, and this time they moved to Flint and Caer Castell, the home of Flint Town United. We made our way down the hill from Halkin and Flint Mountain up south of here, up on the hills, to the town of Flint, which is where Flint Mountain, as we mentioned, moved to in 2022. And that move coincided with them gaining promotion to the Ardal Northwest Tier 3 of the Welsh system, after they finished runners-up in the North East Wales Premier Division. Incredible 4th place finish followed in their debut season at Tier 3. However, it will be the summer of 2023 when things really start to be turbocharged. There's some high-profile signings with Cymru Premier experience, including former Carnarvon Town and Connors Quay striker Mike Hayes. The club would go on to win the Ardal Northwest League in the 2023-24 season, gaining promotion to Tier 2, the Cymru North. Ground sharing with Flint Town United and Connors Quay. Flint Mountain finished a incredible 7th place in their debut season in the Cymru North. Their 7th place finish in the Cymru North in 2024-25 would be their last season playing here in Flint at Kai Casteth. They'll be on the move again in the summer of 2025. So after 3 successful seasons playing at the home Flint Town United, the summer of 2025 brought about further change for Flint Mountain Football Club. Manager Aidan Shannon, who had overseen the success through the Ardles and the first season in the Cymru North, left the club. A new consortium took ownership of the club. The changes at the club would mean a new ground, a ground outside of the county, Flintshire. Before we head off to the next ground in Flint Mountain's illustrious history, I thought we'd have a quick look at Flint Castle, Casteth Flint in Welsh. You can just see, maybe just make out the football ground in the distance, lifeboat station, and then as we pan round, you've got the Dee estuary there, and then the castle. Let's make our way up this staircase. Dodgy. Don't get blown off at the top. What? Keep me fit. Whew. Amazing, get a 360-degree view here. So we've been up on the hills up there, see Halkin over there, and then Flint Mountain will be over there somewhere. And then I think North Up's a bit further that way. And then you see back down to, there's the ground there, Kai Casteth, where Flint Mountain spent, I think, 3 seasons there, reaching the Cymru North and finishing 7th in their debut season. And then back down the coast, Connors Quay, Dee side, and then over to the over the Dee estuary to the Wirral, England. And of course, this castle built by the English to subdue the Welsh. Right, best get down off here before I get blown off, and we'll make our way to the next ground in Flint Mountain's history and the final ground on today's video. The club moved some 20 miles from Flint Mountain to Prestatyn in Denbighshire, and the home of Prestatyn Town, Bastion Gardens. See it over there. So another ground share, and this all happened in the summer of 2025, so the start of this season. So they're competing in the Cymru North at Bastion Gardens, and Prestatyn Town, whose ground it is, they actually compete in the league below in the Ardle Northwest after, I think they were relegated from the Cymru North last season. Get a view of the ground from this fence over here. That's right on the seafront here, pretty much. See over there. So apologies about the wind. Need a hat again. I'm going to get round the other side. I think the road there is Bastion Gardens itself, and I think that leads down to the entrance of the ground. So I'll go down there and see if we can get in for a better look. It's also worth mentioning that Prestatyn Town have quite an illustrious history of their own. They actually were a Welsh Premier League club, as it was known back then. I think they reached the top flight in around 2008. And they actually won the Welsh Cup in 2013 under their influential manager, Neil Gibson, who is actually the current Altrincham manager. I think he's only just taken over there in the last couple of months, but apparently he's doing quite well. Yeah, they beat Bangor City in the Welsh Cup in 2013 at the racecourse. They actually qualified for the Europa League qualifying rounds off the back of winning the Welsh Cup. And they actually got to the second qualifying round. I think they went out to Rijeka of Croatia, I believe. And it's reaching Bastion Gardens here. There you go. You see the floodlights behind the houses there. Oh no, gate's locked. No one's home. Now look at the ground there. Lovely location. It's got a decent seated stand along that far side. I'm not sure what you have this side. Obviously this is the clubhouse. Nothing behind that far goal. Well, that's where we were before actually. See that? Maybe just be able to see the yellow gate in the far distance. And obviously they've got maybe like a TV gantry or something like that there. So it's a nice little ground. And that's where the story of Flint Mountain's Nomadic Football Club ends. For now, here on the beach in Prestatyn on a windy December's day. I think you'll agree that it's an incredible story. Football club set up by school friends in 2009 and named after a village that they never even played in. Over 4 grounds, and a club able to reach the second tier of Welsh football. And that's only in 16 years. Takes some achievement, that, in my opinion. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.